Oh, dear.
Hey guys, my name's Steph, I'm Botanist Cool. We're here to play the Great Ace Attorney with the Ace Attorney expert herself,
Katie.
Katie! Guys, welcome on in. Katie and I were just talking about how bad Raiku's new form is.
I'm not even mad that they ruined Raikou. I'm mad because I don't know what lore justification they're coming up with for this.
Yeah.
But they're breaking their original lore.
Yeah.
And like, not to be like, actually, but like, it's a legendary. You have to have a good reason for doing this, and you don't.
Mm-hmm. They just some cool paradox for
I mean, I know they did it to the birds, and I didn't complain enough then, but they, in all honesty, they probably shouldn't have.
They did the Galar forms of the birds. But I mean, you're right, they are legendaries, they shouldn't really be like messed with too much. They're legendaries world over, you know?
Exactly. It's not like they're legendary because like, oh, you'll like they're like endangered or whatever. They're legendary because they have some like hype lore around them. They're not normal.
And they're endangered.
Like the birds at the very least is like, okay, I don't think they had like insane lore around them. I guess there could be more birds.
I mean,
like,
the movie was like the three guardians with Lugia or some shit like that.
Yeah, but like they could have other guardians elsewhere. I guess that's fine. But like with the legendary dogs, they were specifically created by Ho-Oh.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be anything else looking like them.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I agree with that, but I just find it to be so funny.
Did Ho-Oh go somewhere else and was like, shoot, this place burned down too. Well, I've got practice with this. Don't even worry about it.
The first burned tower, he was like, oh man, let me try something out. Fuck, there's dinosaurs. Second one, I got this one, guys. I got this one. Anyways, Ace Attorney. God, Ho-Oh was drinking when he fucking made those dinosaur dogs. How you doing, Chip? Oh, we're starting with you. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Let me get ready for his fucking voice. God damn it. Like, I have to prepare myself for this man. This man is just... He's something.
He's a lot. He's a lot to deal with.
I could just go off on a tangent and talk about the Code Lyoko fan game I just learned about and downloaded.
Interesting.
But I don't think I should put this off too much because I have been talking about Code Lyoko all day with a whole bunch of people. Cause I just got a fucking whiff of it this morning and this is like, oh yeah, I remember this song. Bum 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 bum. Anyways. Joyful, jubilant, jumping jacks. So stupid.
Oh, Mr. Natsume, I'm so pleased for you.
Welcome, Southern Blizzard Esquire, and non-locum judicial assistant, Miss Mikatoba Esquires. Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof that I am innocent and that my tea is innocent. I feel like he's gonna snap his neck every time he does that. It gets me so fucking concerned. Like, he's in a painting and he's about to snap. Like, what's that fucking painting that's just so like that too? Anyways. Ah, good morning, my dear fellows. Oh, hairlock slooms! May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent. That doesn't help you. That doesn't help you. Do not say that in front of the bailiff, Soseki.
Why is he giving the little... Look at his hand. Isn't that like a thing that like... Isn't that a meme? Or...
Isn't that a meme? That is a meme where you make people look at you, do like this sign or whatever it is, like that sign where you put your hand down on your thigh and you kind of like gotta do like this. Like
yeah, what are the kids up to these days? Doing something like that, right?
Yeah, so Seki's just like, what, 200 years ahead of time now? 220 years?
Yeah.
God damn it. I thought the tea was innocent. Thank you. God damn, I'm really on the Naruhodo's like brainwave. I don't know if this is good or bad.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. How wonderful.
Please save your derision. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says. Well, it's nearly time for luncheon. Yes. Yes.
I mean, probably Mr. Naruhodo.
Yeah.
Definitely Saseki.
Your scorn is written clearly across your faces. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. As sleep seduced me last night, I thought. Tomorrow, for once. Okay, I guess I am Sholmes too. Holy shit. I wake up, work starts at 8 o'clock. I wake up at 8 o'clock, I get to work at 8:30, I'm not gonna lie. But I usually work late, so they're pretty cool with it. Tomorrow for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty of its own, does it not? No, it doesn't.
I tried my best. That's all that matters.
It's the thought that counts.
Oh, yes.
And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? No, don't do this to me! Don't do this to me, Sholmes! He's just attacking me every night! This is just a literal attack on my livelihood. I refuse to have this slander being thrown against me. How dare you? Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why time and time do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It was so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. I can't deal with him. Fucking brilliant. Oh my god. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter? Sholmes holding Ba at gunpoint. Why do you oversleep? Yep.
Oh, yes.
Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I did. Fuck you, Sholmes. I hate you so much, Sholmes. This is me. This is unfortunately me. Like, literally, I hate that he's calling me out. I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to oversleep because I'm sleeping. I should probably sleep earlier to not oversleep, so I sleep the right amount of sleep. And then it's like, but you know, I used to do this as like this. You know, if I sleep till 2, I should be fine, right? Nope. And the results. Yeah, no shit. By first light, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. Shocking. And so the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is simply quite essential. I hate you, Sholmes. Yeah, I think most of us probably knew that already. I hate you, Ryunosuke. What other presuppose I prove by experimentation? That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method.
People said the world was round, so I decided to run around the entire planet, Mr. Naruhodo.
People said this poison would kill me, so I drank it. Ah, yes, and one more thing. Do you remember this?
I drank it. Ah.
Yes, of course, it's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to. It was a laborious task as the bottle was near empty, but such as convenience did not hinder Sholmes.
I still managed to drink it.
I managed to confirm it contains strychnine. So I was right. Perhaps though, of course, such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave that bottle in your care now, but licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. Oh, right, we're fucking going at Miss Green now. Who is this gonna be? Can I have a word? Nope. Can I have a word? Gregson, how good of you to come. Forget it, excuse me. Wait a moment, Inspector. We came back with fish and chips, let's go. I don't want to make a nuisance of myself. From the look on your face, I'd already say it's someone who thinks to make... I'd say it's someone who you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please speak freely. Pretend that I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me. I do want a set of fish and chips now.
You have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Shakespeare's room.
Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. I'm here about something else. The dead convict, actually. Oh, you mean the man from the newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Shakespeare's room?
A man by the name of, yes, Selden.
I went through the archives of the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that, well, it caught my eye.
Something caught your eye. What, Inspector? What?
I've copied the relevant parts for you so you can read it for yourselves. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to make you open up the court record. And, oh, stop it added to the court record yet. Thank you. There we go.
These documents.
Let's read them. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder. That and natural causes while in prison. His final moments witnessed only by a cellmate. The estimated £1,000 worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. Manchester Strangeways Prison announced the death of the convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes nearly on the morning. He's been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alarmed by the shouts of his fellow cellmates, medical staff are found to find him already dead before his capital punishment can be carried out. What? I mean, we already knew about the treasure, so I guess like we could say that like Shamsir wanted the treasure. That's why he was trying to kill what's his name? Shamsir did it. Case closed. Yeah, exactly. That's why he killed both of them so he could get into the rooms, right? But like, I don't know if that's like supposed to be a surprise. I don't know, man. I don't think it is. So this is the poison we've been hearing so much about. It's like striking. There are a few remnants in the bottle at the bottom here. Look.
Mustn't be tempted to try.
Don't tell me what to do. You're not my mom. Of course not. As long as we don't lose this trial. Oh, shit.
No, even if we lose the trial. No, we mustn't lose the trial in the first place, Mr. Naruhodo.
Make up your mind, Susato-san. Yeah, okay.
Include the details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shakespeare's room. I'll rearrange everything in the court record so we don't have duplicate information.
Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though? Well, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm making sure things get handled in the proper fashion.
How Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful.
Indeed, my dear fellows, and the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown. Shining diamond in the rough, maybe. Look, I don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. Comes from the front, run to the front. Make your way to the courtroom at once. So did they change anything here? Or did they just take out like the newspaper clipping? Yeah, okay, they just took out the newspaper clipping. All right, cool. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all, certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Sleep well. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in floods of tears personally, so the best of luck to you. Welcome to the Mr. Esquire. Yes, Mr. Natsume? It's time, isn't it? Yeah, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamspeare. This is going to be the final battle. Part 1. Episode 1. The final battle begins. To be solved in Episode 2, Electric Boogaloo, the final battle 2.
Don't even worry about that. That's not this case.
Time to punch Shamspeare. Time to fucking kick this guy's ass. I won't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to head now, and you can do it, Rinosuke. You have to. I do love that, like, I saw this again. I saw this Ace Attorney thing where it was like, well, with the seeing this copy of the United States Constitution with a stick of bubblegum on it, I now find Maya Fey not guilty of nuking Turkey, right? And then everyone's like, whoa, if she didn't do it, then who did? What? And he's like, that's a good point. You know what? Maya's still going to jail. Wait, no. Edgeworth did. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is this case. This is this fucking case. We proved that Soseki didn't do it, but can you prove he didn't not do it? Fuck off. Court system. Edgeworth is in an accident.
I mean, the reason he's still being accused is because the victim who's awake is still accusing him.
Yeah, I know, but like, we proved that he didn't do that. You know? We proved he couldn't have poisoned him the way they said it. And anyways, I just thought it to be really funny. I was just like, this is literally the game. It's true. Edgeworth is an acid. He's dying. Oh, we just murdered a man. A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to the amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you for that backhanded consideration. Ready and waiting at the witness at the chamber, my lord. God damn it, why is he fucking here? Why is Beatrice von Frollo here?
I will strangle you.
Witness, state your names and occupations for the court, please. William oh fuck, what was his name? What was his voice? Oh yes, it's kind of like this if I recall correctly. William Shamspeare, my liege, for mine occupation I can only say that I'd be a tragic victim to be pitied. Currently unemployed, in other words.
I'm Olive Green, a fledgling artist. Well, no. Not a fledgling artist, really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose.
I wonder what she's painting. Oh, so currently unemployed, in other words. What a coterie. My lord, I am thy humble servant. I would for naught else, my lord.
Yes? Yes, the officer did explain. He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon.
And do you accept the charge, Miss Green?
I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man.
Come, lady, die to live. Verily, I know. I want to fucking. Hey there, Jumping Socks. How you doing? I really just want to fucking punch this dude. I hate it when he does this little like, oh, look at my hip waggle. I'm a piece of shit movement. Okay, let's deal with him. Verily, I do not know thy prickly pea-pigmented personage. Oh my god. Pea-pigmented personage. That's horrible. Oh, if a food is a matter of turn. That brings to us a same with their number screen as anything is a fair. I'm doing good, Jumping Socks. How are you? I'm here with my friend Katie. She's the Ace Attorney expert here. She knows everything about it.
I know some things about it.
Everything.
It's all very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? I barely even go to the East End anyway. So happens I passed by that neighborhood 6 days ago. That's all. On the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in the hospital fighting for my life.
Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garrett household. Yeah, that is unfortunate. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days.
I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion. What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing.
Your energies may be better spent worrying about the random knife attacks I feel misgrowing. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you to Mr. Shamspeare's lodging is the Briar Road incident 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened.
Oh no. The incident 6 days ago, you mean you want me to relive that awful accident?
Yes. Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspeare. But what happened 6 days ago is nothing to do with me being poisoned. Why do they both have a similar pose? Olive, you're better than he is. Don't.
6 days ago, at about 5 p.m., I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed at the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings.
Oh, she's applying blush. That's the only like makeup joke I could ever make. All I know is there's blush and foundation, and she has a red paintbrush that's blush now. I was at the tavern on the eve of which you speakest, for I had bespoke my supper.
It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had little matter to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business.
Meanwhile, you say you're not in your room, Mr. Shamspeare. 'Twas the following morning I did awake that I learned of the dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine. Mr. Segi-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. As suspected, there is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance, but I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here, I feel certain of it, and this is my one and only chance to expose it. Yes, my lord. Who do you think did it? Do you think Saseki-san did it, Katie?
Yeah, sure.
He sounds so unenthusiastic about that. I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. And I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested.
Yes, the incident has been resolved already. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with your waking, and should now be forgotten.
Yes, I suppose so. Thank you.
But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened on that day for us to arrive at the truth about this new case.
The trouble is, there's nothing to tell, really. I was just walking along the pavement.
Planning my murder? She just casually plans murder, teehee.
Can you blame her?
No, I can't. Shamsphere did kill her boyfriend. What were you doing that day, though?
What do you mean?
The art school you attend. What's it called?
Oh yes, it's the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts.
Is that a real school?
I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna do a quick Google search, actually. I'm kind of curious.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Nope, it is specifically and only has been in Ace Attorney. There is a Thorndike Road in Massachusetts, though. Which doesn't help us at all. Okay, cool. Thank you, Google.
According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene of the underground.
I believe you mentioned before you also live on Brixton Road, isn't that right? So why then would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End?
Well, it's because, oh yes, of course. I thought it might make a nice picture.
Oh, brand new pink brush. Oh, never mind. Change back to red. The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas.
That's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of town. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term.
But less honest. The point is, she's definitely hiding something.
Yes, it seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth.
If she's trying to hide why she's there that evening, it must have meant there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mr. Shamsfield, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago, would you tell the court what exactly you were doing? 'Twould be my pleasure, sire. We only have, like, this part of the envelope. That's the problem. Like, we need the rest of it. A tavern, you say? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End. The problem is the Slug and Salad doesn't sound appetizing at all. Like, yo.
I mean, I think it's not supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like a cheap place. That's why he can go there.
Yeah, like, I have no doubt that's why he can go there, but like, what businessman goes, I'm gonna name my place the Slug and Salad because that sounds like A great idea.
I don't know. Kind of funny.
Would you name your restaurant the Slug and Salad?
I don't know. I just imagine like outside the signpost, you have like a little like metal detail above like the swinging sign, and it's a little slug, and that would be really cute, I think.
Fuck, you have a point. Fuck, you have a point. That is cute as shit. What are you talking about? God damn it. Do something real quick. There we go. But yeah, fuck, that's a good point. Alright. And a little unexpected, I feel. What do you mean, Lord Venzix? The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining. We just threw that out. This man's still fucking out of bars, Richard. We gotta fucking punch him out. For the locality, at least. Not an establishment you'd expect to be patronized by a man who can't even crumb of bread in his room.
Okay, so it's even nicer than
we thought, like, yeah.
But then again, that just like, if it's just supposed to be like a middle of the road type tavern.
Right. I mean, I'll still hate him for all of eternity either way, so it's fine. Hey, Ethan, what's up? I hate you. I hate you, Shamsphere.
It's true. The menu lists a premium crust of bread and glasses of water.
Premium crust of bread? What?
And different levels of cloudiness.
Cloudiness? What? Okay. Not much, just cooking. Hi, what are you cooking, Ethan? I would have expected grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. I do hope there's actually a place in this universe called grubbery. Watery soup and mushy peas, or rather, soapy water and pea like mash. All equally appetizing. I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? Making some baked mac and cheese with bacon? Let's fucking go. How different can water really be? Okay, no.
That's someone who's never gone to a new location and drunk the water.
I'm just gonna say this. We've had this topic about water tasting like things before on this exact, like, fucking game. And I agree with Rinosuke. It's not very different.
Have you...
You literally cannot... Exactly, you can't taste water. Thank you, Ethan, no. Only the minerals in the water, yes.
I've brought this up before. You wouldn't... If you have, like... If you have, like, a smoothie, you wouldn't be like, all smoothies taste the same. It's the ingredients in the smoothie that taste different.
Yeah, but no, there's a difference between a homogenized berry smoothie and banana, and then a homogenized banana smoothie versus water and water.
Yeah, one of them is even more the same thing. And that would be the water. And yet it tastes different.
It doesn't. Okay, we'll talk. We'll fight. We'll duke this out next time in like fucking a fighting game or something. All right, let's continue.
Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment.
Agreed. Arm wrestle on Monster Hunter World. I don't think Katie has Monster Hunter World, sadly. The fact that on a day of all days he dined at a place he would normally wouldn't, it does stand out. So Mr. Shamspeare's own actions on the days Mr. Shamspeare's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious. Team no taste all the way, let's go. I wonder if it's some evidence that can explain these actions.
No, because I go to like my parents' house and they have like some water softener or whatever, and every time I drink it I'm just like, bleh. And then I get used to it, and I come back here. I'm like, the water tastes different here now. So like, it truly do be tasting different depending.
I will say this: the tomatoes in Greece taste better than tomatoes here. It's very different from water.
It's the nutrients that went into the potatoes that you're tasting, actually.
Actually, Steph, it's the nutrients that went into those tomatoes. Thank you very much.
The minerals in those tomatoes, actually.
Yeah. I see how it is, smartass. I'll bring you to Greece one day, if I ever can. And I'll fucking... God, I do kind of want to go back to Greece one day soon, actually. Anyways, I wish we did, but sadly I can't think of anything at the moment.
If we find a clue that could explain why Mr. Shamsphere went there, we must present it to the court. Do you understand, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yeah,
if we
absolutely.
find a clue, we must present it to the court. I'm staring at you.
We just found a letter. We just found a letter. I wonder who it's from. Boop.
Can you spot the hint?
Wink, wink. No, I'm sorry. I need more help there, Dora. What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate.
There was nothing really. It's not worth mentioning.
If you remember, you mentioned to us yesterday at the hospital. It was related to the card you were holding. Miss Green! What was that? She clearly hid something behind her back. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross.
What does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan.
I thought he would have a stupider face on, but okay. Mr. Shamsphere, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be, that is the question.
Not to be.
Pray, forgive me. The bard's great word springeth from within me with ne'er a thought. Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? God damn it. Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps? Well, nay, sire, it was nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though, Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. It would it were so, but sadly nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room, just one floor above yours. Same Ethan, though. This one?
Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong?
The card doesn't reflect contains a note. Do you have it upon your person?
I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really. I'm going to burn it right now. Here, let me throw it into the flaming fire right behind you, Your Honor.
Let's examine this. Let's examine the shit out of this. Examine the shit out of this, baby. Let's go. Can we? Okay. The envelope has been ripped rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes the type of person to correspond more neatly than that. Ah.
What is it?
The way the envelope was torn, I'm almost sure I've seen the exact same shape somewhere else.
Oh, you don't mean... Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo?
Exactly, that's it. Try to match them up. I'm
glad they don't make you choose it.
Yeah, I would be so pissed. I would be so pissed. Like, come on, guys.
They go together perfectly. This torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs with this card.
Oh, thank Christ. That envelope looks familiar. I know, very sussy.
Can you actually read that card?
I don't think so. I tried, try it again.
You hover over just the letter part? Okay.
No.
I was just curious.
Imagine on the inside it had signed Shakespeare.
I'll be back out of it. Does it say what it doesn't even say what it reads? That's silly.
Yeah. Signed a lonely bard. It's Duncan Ross. So, I think I gotta press Shakespeare here, but the problem is I feel like I could also press I feel like I also press olive green, but I'm, oh fuck, wrong button. Just skip through this real quick. But like I feel like, wait, did I just hear something? Hold on. Hold on, wait, did I just hear something? No, that was just a harp from this asshole. Never mind. I thought like I heard like a thing where I could like question Miss Green because she heard the name after the second time. You know what I'm saying?
Why are you loading again?
Because I don't want to go through this whole thing. I don't want to bother with him. I just want to present the evidence. The pain in the ass. Not the right one.
Back in ye old times, apparently you could not, like in the original Ace Attorney games, not like this one you might have been able to save scum, but like in the original trilogy you could not.
I remember that pain. I do. On my DS at least.
Oh, you when you were playing Ace Attorney, you could. But in the original, like the general, you could not. Like when it was on like the Game Boy, you could not.
Gotcha. Let's present Duncan here. What do you mean?
Because it doesn't. That's why I was like, it's dumb that it doesn't have what's written on the letter.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Wrong button. I'm just gonna do the letter, then fuck. Fuck! Fuck me. Alright, we're gonna say that it wasn't coincidentally. Keep pressing the wrong button. Fuck me! Okay, hold on. I'm gonna give it a legitimate try. I thought okay. Six days ago, I was walking along the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Alright. Coincidentally, it happened to be outside the house where the men, in this case, have had their lodgings. I was at the tavern of the eve which thou speakest, for I have bespoke my supper. Oh, I have to talk to him. I remember that. Yep, okay. I'm an idiot. There's a prompt later on that says, "Hey, do you have evidence?" I forgot about that. And Katie's like, "Steph, you're an idiot." I forgot about this part. I failed like 10 times. Mr. Shamspear. Yes, sire. The night in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize? For a very particular reason. I don't know what you're talking about. Pray if thou hast some purpose speakest. His face looks so worried. Before, when he does this jump, he looks like a piece of shit. Now he looks like a worried piece of shit. Very well, present the core of evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad on the day. Namely, I believe this card reveals the answer. That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anyone else about this letter or the meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamsford, your actions on the afternoon of Mr. Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that this is a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspear? Well...
Excuse me, can I say something?
Stop! Homie, don't defend him. Yes, Miss Green.
That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it?
Well, you think so, yes. But it's hard to believe it's merely...
My lord, may I? I'd like to make something very clear about that card. This note was delivered to me at my address. It has nothing to do with the odd man next to me here. Do you know that, like, in U.S. court at least, it's very recommended that, like, if you're being accused of a crime, you try and avoid the witness stand specifically. Like, they do not want you talking on that witness stand because that is when you can be cross-examined by the prosecution and made to look really unreliable.
Yep.
So, like, and that's why, like, defending yourself can be, like, the worst thing that you can possibly do. Like, one of the best things you can do is just hire your lawyer and then just, like, shut up and not say anything. And if you are ever put on the stand, just, like, answer the question and nothing else. You'll be... Because they are trying to lead you and trying to trick you because it's their job.
I think you said that you received it the day before the incident, didn't you?
Yes, that's right.
There appears to be no indication of the sender's name or address on the envelope.
There's in my letterbox, and that's all I know, I'm afraid. I've no idea who sent it. A friend of mine. He attended the same art school as I do.
Wow, just a friend, Miss Olive Green. Can't believe you lied.
He passed away in a tragic accident a month ago now, though. I wasn't sure what to make of that note, to be honest. But in the end, I decided to give it a go.
So you found what the information was?
course I didn't. You're not thinking straight.
What's on the way there? She was stabbed in the back, as my learned friend hopefully remembers. Yeah, of course. She never made it to the meeting.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you pursued Mr. Shamspear wonderfully there.
It worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. Alright, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere.
Well, unless you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that.
Ah, yes, of course. And yelling out objections is necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. Present. Well, I'm gonna yell out an objection anyways, honestly. Objection! Yeah! The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions on the note, you found yourself in hospital.
Yes, I did. It's terrible. Everything that's happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If that's all true, that is.
What do you mean?
Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope.
Oh, is it?
And it so happens that this fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received.
Where did you find that?
In Mr. Shamspear's room. In my room? Mr. Shamspear, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Well... Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions of the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspear. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green.
Oh, what did I do?
As this torn off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamspear's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession?
I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all.
There's only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspear's room and stole it! You did what? Sorry. Thou hast what? You I mean, thou were in mine room? What on... do you want with me? Miss Green.
Yes?
Whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony in the court of law will be duly punished for the first time in history. Please bear that in mind, as we do not punish you but claim we will.
Yes, I know.
That was the most mumbled bullshit I put out yet. I do remember now. 'Twas a week ago, peradventure, the note was delivered unto me. On the day writ therein, I did tarry an hour long at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished.
I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here. As for that torn-off piece of envelope, I don't know anything about it.
Sus. They're both bullshitting us. You claim to... Faith 'tis so, my lord! And I would swear to have it upon my table in the humble lodgings. Yet, 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it. I thought I had eaten it because I was so poor. Like my soup before.
A lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying. I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said. And fledgling artists don't lie.
Isn't Shamsphere technically a fledgling artist as well?
No, he's a sham.
Fair enough.
Besides, that note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is.
That's a good point, honestly. If that's true, Miss Green, then how do you explain this fact? The part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mrs. Shamsphere's room.
I don't see why I should explain.
Sorry?
I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is just to say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer.
Oh, she's being a smartass now and I'm ready to fucking fight her. Not as much as I'm ready to fight Shamsphere, but I'm ready to fight here. Like, come at me, girl. Come at me. The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. I'm ready, my lord.
Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shamsphere's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note.
Yes, two facts are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all that. And it's not a pretty one. So maybe she sent it to Shamsphere as blackmail, went into his room, poisoned his room. So Seki was fucking yeeted to jail, so Shamsphere didn't try to killing him. And then a few days later, Shamsphere tried killing him when it came back. Oh, right. We already fucking dealt with that bullshit. And can you shed any more light on the contents of the note at all? Nay, sire, 'tis as strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as my own, verily, 'tis impenetrable. But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbor, so surely you knew him, didn't you? Alack! If the choices were twixt I knew him and I knew him not, then 'tis with foreboding that I was forced to declare we were, by some small measure, acquainted. Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the slug and salad. Presumably that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature? Mary! Not for the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. Till 'tis true I compelled by mine own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Pretentious shit. Yet in the end, my curiosity was not sated. I'm gonna find out, like, every time I rewatch these episodes, like, I see every once in a while just Shamsphere does something that in my head just kind of like, that's a little, like, twitch, like, ugh. It's just like,
Right? Where it's like, at first you're like, what, it's not so bad, kid, and then, like, his little twitches grow on you, except not like a frond growing.
They
It's
gnaw
more like
on
it's
you.
yes, it's the opposite of growing on you. Gnawing on you is correct.
They keep like it's like a little nibble, like you know, like a little puppet does a little nibble, like oh it's cute. Now it's a fucking Rottweiler biting at you. You know what I'm saying? Or Chihuahua, actually. He's more apt to a Chihuahua. So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared. Well, yes, it is thou sayest. Really? You paused for a moment before you answered. In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall. I was not alone that night in the slug inside, my lord. No, 'tis returning to me now. I did treat my lips to an almost clear water, and mine innards to a premium crust of bread. And all around me danced a great many companions. What do you mean? Fly, sir, fly. Right where you belong. In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance from a midsummer night's dream, come to taunt me? No, I guarantee you not. I think they were just flies. Yeah.
I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around.
Like shit.
Is that wrong of me?
See, I don't know if she was calling him shit, which, yeah, or which one was worse, you know?
I think she was calling him worse.
Yeah. When exactly did you notice it had gone missing? Such idle thoughts, Neri, occupy my mind. I'm busied with greater ideas of nothing. In other words, you didn't notice. Several days passed between your outing to the tavern. Mr. Nutsmith is into your room. Such idle thoughts never occupy my mind. I'm busy with greater ideas.
Ah, yes, of course. It's all some sort of misunderstanding, isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir?
You have so far failed to give satisfactory explanation as to how you come by the note.
Thanks, Van Zeeks. Appreciate this one.
I may be a racist piece of shit, but you're also being a bit of a piece of shit on the witness stand. I'm not here to advocate for your defense, madame. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. I will make them up my own, though. You would do well to remember that.
Oh, dearie me.
Oh, poor thing shaking. What's Lord Van Zeeks getting at? It seems that this note was actually delivered to Shamspeare about 1 week ago.
Oh, does it?
Well, for some reason it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings. But for what reason would the witness have done that? I won't deny that Miss Green's possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until or unless her involvement in this case has been proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless.
Miss Green could have only come to be in possession of the note by stealing it from Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she should have done such a thing.
What if there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though?
Yes, we should proceed the idea, Mr. Naruhodo.
We're close now. I can feel it. Only 3 more bullshits from Von Zeeks to go. We're gonna save Scum a little bit. I'm going to present the article about her dead boyfriend. There is no article about her dead boyfriend. Why do we still have the secondhand book receipt? It does nothing.
But does it?
But does it? Oh, let's take a look at this. It does nothing.
Objection.
The music didn't change. Not even gonna take the penalty. All right.
Objection.
No. I'm actually kind of lost in this one. Maybe I gotta like re-listen to people talking a bit or press that last one. Something that's needed.
Hold it.
So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it?
I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are always nearly introverted characters.
Introverted, fie! This fledgling doth readily cast aspirations about my nature. Yet I am an angel, a seraph, birds do harmonize my song, and the wind doth frolic on my wings. Fuck you! Oh, pity, wherefore dost thou accuse one so pure of heart, ample woman? Wanna punch this guy so hard.
You're of heart. I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see that you're just a failure.
I hate the fact that he's still fucking dancing in the background. I really just want to punch him. Like, I know Elijah's gonna love this man, but I want to punch him so hard. Tragedy, thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh, the days, the years, alas, to enlighten thee, thou must wait so long in vain. I'm gonna like try to like legitimately stop looking at him and like look at the corner of the screen from now on, because I feel like it's legitimately gonna get me to like fucking pause every 10 seconds because he pisses me off so much.
Really? I'm quite enjoying it.
Yeah, because I'm being tortured.
Mr. Naruhodo, inject with some clever remark. This is your chance to shine.
I'm no Shakespearean actor, Mr. Sato. No, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument is evidence. Oh.
There's evidence, yes. It's clear that Miss Green did in fact break into Mr. Shamsway's room, isn't it? And that's where she found this letter.
Yes, 2 more or less foregone conclusions that lead me to one terrifying. Oh yeah, we've already done this.
Terrifying.
Yes, I'm afraid to say that the outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. What is in here that... I wonder if Shamspear is wearing a wig, and if so, is he bald? Is he wearing a wig? That's a good question. The more I look at him, the more his hair turns puke green in my eyes, and I'm okay with that. What are you thinking, Katie? What are you thinking, Katie?
Well, I don't want to really go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, same.
Those are my most innermost thoughts. I'm glad you asked.
I'm pretty sure that's surface level Katie right there, though.
I'm not a complicated woman.
So what do you think about this case, Katie? I'm kind of actually stumped where I should do this. Like, I feel like we gotta hit Miss Green to prove that she does have a motive. Oh wait, why don't I just present the fucking letter here?
Objection.
Nope.
Well, what is her motive?
The boyfriend. I'll take this penalty. Tee hee, ooh woo.
Ooh woo.
Ooh woo, Mr. Obama.
Mr. Obama.
Hello.
But you can present profiles, right? Or
Oh, right, that's a good point. I thought you could present profiles.
can you? I actually can't remember. It's been a hot minute.
I cannot switch to profiles, no.
Oh.
Fuck.
Did you present the picture?
I did. Nothing happened.
Objection.
See?
Okay. Do you want me to consult my memory? I honestly haven't, like, I try not to think too hard during these, to be honest, because when I do, I'm always just like, well, do the thing. So I always kind of like zone out just a little bit, to be perfectly honest, because otherwise I'll be like, solve the thing, do it now!
I mean, you can consult your memory, or you could like just tell me what you think.
Let's see. Let's warm up my brain again. What are there any other like things here?
We could say she wanted 1,000 pounds worth of loot.
I don't think so.
So, I can point out the villain here. As for that torn off piece of envelope, I don't know anything about it. So either we have to basically like prove that it was not delivered to him, which I think it was. Prove that there was someone else there, which we can't really do.
Did you press you pressed all the statements, right?
I did, yeah. Maybe we gotta press them all again.
I was just thinking, because we know why no one showed up. Well,
yeah.
we know in part why no one showed up.
The person either it was intended for or whatever, but yeah. Let's just see if there's anything else that I had to... Punch you. Oh yeah, that's part. Okay.
On her statement, the only other thing I can think to present offhand might be the bottle. I don't know.
Maybe.
Objection.
Oh shit, you got it.
My brain! It's massive!
So wrinkly.
So wrinkly. One whole wrinkle.
One whole is more than I had. Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle. All of the contents spilled during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained.
Oh.
According to the defense independent analysis, Mr. Sholm's chemistry set, we just won't mention his name, the liquid in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine? The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shakespeare. Oh! Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds this gas lamp in Mr. Shakespeare's room with poison. I love that Mr. Shakespeare's like, what did you do? What did you do? Like, just staring at her. Congressman? You broke into my room too. It may seem incredible to the courts, but from the remaining clues, there's only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shakespeare's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dearie me!
Ooh. Ouch. Oh no! Everything fell over. Oh, poor.
Okay.
Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts. Well, that's a very good point. Perhaps not, my lord.
Fenzie's coming in clutch.
I know, right? There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident of Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as a part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely not have chosen to carry out any wrongdoing at the time. Lord Van Zeeks.
And of course, the following morning, there is more activity at Mr. Shakespeare's address.
More activity? Yeah! You and his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder.
That's right. And as the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shakespeare was meddling with the gas pipe for a very sinister reason himself. To cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant.
But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. The circumstances, Mr. Shakespeare had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. His intended victim being in the prison cell. With the need to tamper with the gas to remove the poison of the pipe lay dormant.
And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again.
Right, Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end. That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodging for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out and Mr. Shakespeare was mysteriously poisoned.
Mysteriously. He sounds like he's laying out a little part.
In conclusion, the poison was present on the mouth of the gas pipe. had been put in the victim's room 4 days earlier. Mary! She's on a little box. Oh my god.
That's always the case, and it's always cute every time.
Oh my god. That's adorable. With the new understanding, it became clear that this letter was all part of the plan. The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the slug and salad at 5 o'clock, and that the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at the stated time. To make sure I wasn't home? Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say that letter was written by Miss Green, yes. And in order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room. Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me, you fucking bastard? Why did she try to kill you? At least she has a sound reason. You just want the money, baby. He's here like, why did you try to kill me, the victim who definitely didn't try to kill Mr. Natsume at the same time? Oh, swear is me for being a little bitch boy.
Yeah, that's why I really actually do like this one. Like, it's just like, it's convoluted, but like the right amount of convoluted.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where it's like, things feel like, it feels like people had motivations that make sense.
Yeah.
Like, across the board.
Yeah. Yeah, Shakespeare wanted the money, and Miss Green wanted revenge for her boyfriend. Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial. So, that's what's behind all this. Will you anything the front of the court, please, counsel? Mr. Cersei, and the ones ready for you. Talk to me at these words. She saw his face once and wanted to kill him. No.
Take that!
That's right. Before the defendant, Mr. Natsume, took up residence in the lodging at the Garridebs, somebody else was renting the room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I'd heard the name somewhere before. It was all over the papers a month ago, and the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodgings. Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamspear blowing into the gas pipe and causing a gas leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple.
Well, what do you know? The world is so unfair. Curses. Curious deaths. That's all people care about. If it's an interesting story, they want to know. It doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. And once they're bored, just 1 month later, once the story's lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten him.
You mean you? Duncan was? Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shamspear. But she's known exactly who you are all along. Because you are her sworn enemy! The murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry! Marry! Miss Green, is that not the case? In order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamsbury, you smeared poison all over the end of his gas pipe. Yes, my lord. That is correct. Inhaling so deeply it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken a lungful of dubious gases, causing his judgment to be clouded. What? Why?
Bendix, bro, come on.
Come on, dude. Why would Mr. Shamsbury wanted to kill these lodgers, as you say? You have completely failed to provide a motive for your substantiated your accusing against the man. Yes, I wish to reap my leash. I have become slighted. 'Tis lies on lies at the knife, reverence.
You'll have to forgive me, Mr. Naruhodo, sir. But I don't intend to admit to anything either.
Miss Green!
I'm sure you'll think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel.
But you broke into this man's room. You didn't. If you didn't spear poison in the pipe, what was your reason?
I thought I'd have a look around, that's all.
Sorry?
You're right, I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence or something in his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life.
Oh, villainess! Oh, villainy! Oh, tyranny! Oh, rotundity of woman! But in any case, where I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock.
The whole place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Duncan showed me once how to unlock the door with some tips and a piece of wire.
Oh, for this tyranny! Oh, profanity of woman! We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion, but for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed!
Well, I spotted the note I'd sent him lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it I discovered a secret hiding place.
Yes, we also discovered the hiding place.
Inside we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. Ah yes, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty.
What? There was something in it?
Yes. This rather nice key.
What are you doing with that? What the?
Every ounce of color has drained from his face.
Give it here! Give it to me now! It's mine, I inherited it! What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it. What's all this about? He inherited that key?
It was obviously important to you, since you'd gone to such lengths to hide it. So I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you. So what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care.
Give it back this man! Give it to me! So Mr. Shamsbury has tried, and in one case succeeded to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened. Is he Gollum? He's probably Gollum. It's true that there appears to be no more to support this accusation.
Precious.
Precious, my precious key.
Precious.
God, I want to rewatch Lord of the Rings now. First, but considering everything we now know, I think there is actually something that could explain it. What? I need to recall every piece of evidence from our disposal.
Imagine you're just on the like you're just like in the middle of a heated debate, and some guy just goes right in front of you. Like, what would your reaction be?
Man, this dude played too much Ace Attorney. That's my reaction. Because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs between all these events. What is it that you say you can explain the motivation for Mr. Shamshi's alleged crimes? Definitely not this. Definitely not this that we just got a little while ago, and the game's trying to say, hey, remember, but then again, the key goes in here, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. The Selden file! How did you get a hold of that? Selden? The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them. The fact that they had lodgings in the same room. The room that was formerly occupied by Selden. Until that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries. Sure. And that's what happens. The convicted Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. The sum £1,000 worth of loot that he had stolen, which as yet remains to be found. £1,000 lost en route to hell. That's how the paper summed it up. It seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. It's not hard to imagine Selden entrusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret, the location of the stolen loot, and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in.
Oh, you mean this key is...
Mr. Shamspeare, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, were you not? What are you talking about? 'Tis a false charge, I tell you, the false charge! The name of the inmate who was with Selden at his death isn't noted in this file, but the simple telegram to the prison where he died would quickly tell us how false the charge really is. There's only one explanation for that, my lord. It was so that the very room that Selden... It's in that very room that Selden hid his loot.
Just a little ping after all the dramaticness.
I know. So it all comes out. Yes, and having established that, all Mr. Shamspeare's subsequent actions start to make sense. When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mr. Garredeb's lodgings in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired armyman was unable to offer the accommodation of his choice, because Selden's old room had already been let to someone else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mr. Shamspeare subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he succeeded, he presumably intended to inquire about switching to the newly vacant room. However, a certain jittery someone had beaten him to it. So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamspeare, this time, to oust Mr. Natsume? All for one simple and avaricious reason. Set your hand on the £1,000 of loot left behind by the dead convict. Say again?
Pounds in What year is it?
Oh,
Oh, wait,
1801.
never mind. We gotta watch this.
Okay. Looks like I'm gonna suck up for this stretch me neck. Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything to stop the coppers getting it, their mitts on it. It's in the room where I was lodging when they got me. Here, this is the key to it. Take it. Always stay one step ahead, mate. See you in L, I guess. Shamspear. Wait, 1901, 1901. Because that's when Soseki was there. Mm-hmm. What did he just say? It's mine. That loot is mine. Oh, let's see if he can get pissed off. Oh, okay. Oh, Mr. fucking Looney Bin here. Okay. Are you sure he's not related to the witches or something like that there? He's going fucking out of his mind. Okay. Mr. Shamspear. Oh, it's all a lie. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Forsooth, I am the victim here. Remember, isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? Everyone's like, what the fuck is this dude all about? If I don't admit it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me for the time being anyways. Verily, you can't arrest the victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen?
I'm curious as to fuck off.
I'm so close, I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it, and I can almost taste it now. Do you think I'd just give up? There's no question in my mind now. This man's guilty and a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, I did it, but if I don't say I did it, then I didn't do it. Checkmate. I'm out of here.
The best. Oh, all right, case dismissed. Bring it to the dancing officers.
He seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot.
Intoxicated is a nice word there, Susato. Fucking high on crack might be the other one.
I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Mr. Naruhodo.
There is a way.
Pardon?
There's one way I could finish him.
No. In this courtroom?
I was thinking that would have been a joke, but that would have been uncouth. So I was like, murder instead? Are we gonna go with the hand job joke or the murder joke? Let's see what happens.
I was going for the murder joke.
Oh.
No, I wasn't.
I was like, I showed my ass there, okay. And you're like, no.
I just wanted you to show your ass a little bit.
In this courtroom, Katie? He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot, which means all we need to do is find it first. A fine plan! Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. It's not there at all. It must be very well hidden indeed.
Yeah, but did you have a key?
Did you have a key?
Yeah, it's got a loot finder in it.
Yeah.
Also, it seems like it was worth, and I converted it to USD as well. So in terms of USD, so it's worth.
Accounting for inflation and convert to USD.
I mean, I used a converter, and so if the converter is wrong, I have no idea, but yeah. I did that, and then I converted that to USD. So it seems to be over 200K.
Holy shit.
So it's like 200,452 about.
God, I don't blame Shamsphere. I want that money too. No, I do blame him. He's fucking a murderer.
I feel like I'd need more to kill over.
No, here's what you do. You say, hey, Mr. Duncan, listen.
I mean, I get he's dirt poor, so there is that.
Potion of put Shamsphere into jail. Oh, welcome. You up the standard. You can do better. Yeah, you can do better, Chip. Do better putting Shamsphere into jail with that potion. No, 100%. Like, do not murder for $200,000. But like, I'm just saying, this dude could have been like, hey, listen, Duncan. I know there's some money here. You want to split it half and half, bud? You want to split it half and half? Yeah, no, there is a cooldown now on that. Thanks to research pointing that out. But yeah, there's so many easier ways of doing this, Shamsphere. I'm just saying, bud.
I mean, name one easier way.
Yeah. But just saying, hey, how about we split the bucks, you know?
But then you'd have 100k less money.
That's 100k more money, though.
Blowing gas costs $0. Splitting money costs 100k. If only there was some way we could find the convict's loot quickly.
This is the final piece of the complex puzzle, but I think we might have it in our possession already.
He just pulls Sholmes out of his pocket. This man will find it.
Or rather, I think we may have something that can help us find where the loot's hidden. My lord!
Hello, sir. Sir, please call on me.
Yeah, please, sir. Please. The professor would like to make a proposal about how to find the comics that who. We believe we are already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to where it's about. Fuck you. It's our last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've already used the same technique once already, and it definitely paid off then. Yeah. Bar of soap. The problem is I actually don't know. Like I made a joke that maybe it's in the gas meter because there's a keypad on there, right?
No, because the guy opens it up.
Yeah, yeah. But if he didn't come recently and was focused solely on...
He came all the time. Collect the gas money.
Yeah, that's true. So it might not be the gas meter. However, we can't see the board from here, so we can't use the board.
Yeah, that's also not the right room.
I know, but like, it could be as an example. I don't think we use that, really. I don't think we use the bar of soap. Alright, I have a few musings. Alright. So first and foremost, we could use excuse me. Somewhere in the books? I'm gonna go for gut. This is my proposal, my lord. No, yeah, okay, it's not. Did not go. Alright, no, how you dunking on
Defense
me?
has been smoking. God.
Stop wasting the court's time with sensitive information. Alright, fair enough. Wait, why is it on autoplay? Oh, I pressed F. You know what I want right now?
Fish and chips.
Cheesecake, actually.
Oh, cheesecake.
I know, right? I don't know why, but the cheesecake entered my mind.
Man, when is not the right time for cheesecake? Almost never, I would think.
Fucking right.
Maybe if you've had a lot of cheesecake, it's no longer time for cheesecake,
Yeah.
but that's probably the only time.
Not chip punches. You know, as a meme. Did not work. Guys, this is the classic Ace Attorney gameplay of choose everything. I'm gonna go for this action now. Okay, that was my second one. Alright. If I'm not mistaken, you have saved and loaded this game 3 times already. Do you not know what the answer is? Those are Shamsphere's handprints on the wall of his lodgings. Oh, wrong voice. That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense's independent investigation of the scene.
Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective, Mr. Sholmes.
A great detective? Is that some kind of joke?
Is that a new, like... Was that a new, like, position with the thing on his chest and, like, the face?
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
it was weird.
It was. Now they just have the new face and he looks fucking worse. Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? I should think the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he's heard one Mr. Shamsphere.
Why is he, like, biting his lip?
No. Perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title.
I will...
To Sherlock Holmes himself. What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are filthy back streets of the capital, are they not? Ah, Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. And I see your complexion has worsened since the last we met. Fucking dunked on, baby! Let's go! Mr. Sholmes, he does know Lord Van Seeksten. Well enough to say something like that in any case.
If I may, my lord. Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us uncover vital clues in this case already.
I do the thing, like, I just imagine him literally coming from the side and just, like, backflipping over, like, hello, it is I, Sherlock Holmes. Like, I just literally imagine him backflipping from the balcony, honestly.
Whee! Just Naruto runs up to the stand.
We are fighting, dreamers. I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies each location touched by an individual under scrutiny. 'Tis the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities. Oh! You need only a small sample of the individual as previously touched to make an indicator solution. In your case, sir, I used the teacup that you've been holding elementary. So no, Mr. Naruto. Yes. What am I to use as a sample to make the indicator solution this time? Thank you for offering to help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Sekson's room. You need a sample to help locate Selden's loot that is in the room. What form will that sample take? Here's the problem. I want to say the key on Miss Green's necklace. It's not evidence, so I gotta say present a person. We will need something of Selden's in order to create the indicator solution to find his loot. And that something owned happens to be in the possession of somebody listed in the court record. Upon my word, Mr. Naruto, your powers of reasoning appear to be on the up. So, which particular person do you have in mind? From whom can we obtain the possession of the late convict Selden to create an indicator solution? Miss Green!
Oh, me? What do you want with me?
The key around your neck, if you please.
Sorry?
That key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretion of the man's skin on the surface that we can use.
Gross.
Yeah. Very true. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicator solution required for Mr. Sholm's skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room and how he used it. Oh! Mr. Shakespeare is one great to another, I assure you. If the late convict's hull is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings, I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes. So, Mr. Shakespeare, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth.
In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have the key.
No! Give the key to me, then I shan't have it! It's over, Mr. Shakespeare. No. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt.
No
Whoa.
thanks, goodbye.
Nah, see you later, brah. Oh, shameful spirit! Despair! Be thy name! Are you okay?
I just noticed his buttons flew off. That's fun.
This dude's not okay. Oh.
Yeah,
He
they're all
died.
gone.
I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room, that's all. So you have time to find the convict's haul stolen goods. Yet after you killed the young man, you still didn't move into the room. I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with rent for one thing. Yeah, Mr. Gardner really has had to put up with a lot. And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease.
Poor Mr. Natsume. What unfortunate timing.
Potion of Kill Shakespeare. It's up to standard. The potion wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road when the Japanese man fellow got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance. But it wasn't to be. No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day.
And if I remember rightly, Mr. Sholmes spent the whole day in there reading books.
I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove of his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead to you in the deadly trap.
William Shakespeare. How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question.
From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1.
Let me tell you in your case. It's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done.
To be fair, she only did attempted murder.
At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forget our conversation the night before Duncan died.
The gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive.
The gas supply.
Yes, the stove always seemed to go out in the middle of the night for some reason.
That's no joke.
They say it's the convict's curse.
Oh, Duncan, please, don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is.
Alright then, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place.
There are spare rooms at my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight?
No, I'd better not. We said we wait till we graduated before we told our parents, remember?
But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, he fell victim to the gas. If only I'd known it was going to happen, I'd have insisted he left that horrible room that instant. Instead, all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school. Something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stooped Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up the road to grub scrubbery for some food, so I followed him and sat myself down next to him. He had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with the publican.
The place is cursed, I tell you, cursed! The ghost that comic used to live there is trying to slay me! Wake up in the middle of the night, freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas and I can hardly breathe. The pipes have been checked. No problem there. It's like I'm the
How could that be? Duncan was gone, and now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse? Then I remembered a rumor I'd heard about how the gas companies go around investigating the gas installations. Yes, everybody's heard the stories, it seems, about how they go around checking the pipes.
How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipe work.
That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Once I had the idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End.
Oh, a black market.
I'd never been, I just heard people talk about them. You really can buy anything you can think of there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident? Or was it murder?
And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe of the man you suspected of tampering with and wait. If the Cheshire was innocent, nothing would come of what you've done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly.
I found out the name of the man I suspected. William Shakespeare. And then I wrote him this little note. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. If he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough, so he'd be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked.
And of course, Mr. Shamspeare followed the instructions to the letter.
I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away. So I smeared a good amount of the poison I got all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done, and that it was all just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done, and that the culprit would get his just desserts. Queen.
Talking for me.
Yes, my lord. It has been a long road, my Ebony's friend. Oh, yes. And one I certainly did not envisage. And one I certainly did not envision walking with you.
Yes, my lord.
You have also set of your freedom. The function for the attempted murder is an assumption.
Yes, I know.
Again, Professor. The return for the order was a declaration to the and subsequent to the order is a declaration for Professor.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes.
Yesterday at the hospital, when you and your friends stopped me from...
From ending your life by drinking what's left in the poison bottle?
I wasn't myself. I can't even remember what was going through my mind. Be or not to be, I suppose. It's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems.
Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green.
Oh?
And I'd like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shamsford didn't die when he ingested that poison. For your sake, at the very least. Oh, she smiled.
Because of you, I choose life, not death. And now you've made the truth come out at last.
Aww.
Really, I can't thank you enough.
The sweet smile.
Oh, Miss Green.
This is an answer.
Yes, my lord.
According to the law of enemies of unbending matter, accordingly, you call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present his verdict as not guilty.
We're in full agreement, my lord.
Guilty!
Guilty!
Reference to the claim of the defendant, not guilty.
I just like the idea that they have confetti in this, like, and fireworks in this fucking, like, oh my god.
Court is adjourned.
Oh, yes, yes, at last. Divine justice duly done. Divine justice? My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache. No, this has nothing to do with my mustache.
Some say that a luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Sholmes. Let's not forget the power of Juliet.
And her glorious mustache. Welcome, Mr. Arnold. What's again? You've saved me from doom. I'm very happy to have been able to help Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. Your second in almost as many days. I was first acquainted with and gained affection for English literature whilst our great homeland was then by a twist of fate I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Tried I never found my feet here. In the end I confided myself to my room and lived life through friendly old books.
You've had such a difficult time, haven't you?
Ah, but a week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark, dingy room of yours, did I not? You did, and I've seen more life in this week than all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English itself I've been hiding beneath the wall of fog. My dear fellow, there is nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it. Wherever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine differences. Yes, I think you're right. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've worked out why I've attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live. Well said, I've come to feel the same way. I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan. What?
Just when we'd become friends here in England. What a terrible shame.
Would you consider this being friends, Susato?
He's one of the few people who isn't racist to us, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, I know that does talk my heartstrings, it really does. But at this time, I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. A novel of sort, I suppose. I will call it Phoenix Wright.
Again, he is an actual author.
Yeah, that's true. He's a cat. He actually is a cat, just so you know.
Oh my, so you'll be creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume. How wonderful.
Oh, well, no, I mean... I would presume to call it literature. Why not, when it is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache? I suppose you're right, yes. It will in a way be literature, but as of now, all I know is that I'd like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur.
I, for one, would love to read your work.
Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you've had once again emerged victorious. From a battle with the Reaper. Ah, that's very true.
And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor.
Oh, God. The desire to return post-haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand.
My goodness, yes. Faced with such a terrifying prospect. Nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm quite sure.
What? No, I'm leaving! I mean it! And that was the case we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. So Saki-san did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar, and barely any time later, Susato-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well. On the back of the telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial on the following day. The day that we uncovered the loot hidden by the now deceased convict and his former lodgings. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if it skips that, I was gonna say, fuck you, game.
Oh, well done, Mr. Sholmes. Have something marvelous of you. To uncover the secret hiding place in just one day.
Behind all these books, too. Was it supposed to take 30 minutes? As I believe I told you, my dear fellow, skin prints are extremely useful in these situations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregson? Poor man.
Regsy's been happily munching in agreement this whole time, you know, Hurley. Happily. I think perhaps humorously might be closer to the truth.
So, it transpires the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling. What's in it? What's exactly the loot? Let us look then if you're ready. Let's examine the late burglar's hall. What the? What is that?
It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar.
With what on it? A collar? It's huge though.
And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth £1,000. Perhaps I could have it as a belt.
A belt? B on there? That's a B, right?
Looks like a bee. Oh, have you noticed that on the inside there are some dark stains?
It's blood. You don't think it could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it.
On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt. And of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B and a small crown.
What does this signify, do you think?
Oh, I hadn't noticed that. I feel as though I've seen that emblem somewhere before, you know. Where could it have been?
Have we seen this in game before, this emblem?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
That's enough of that, I think. What? What's the matter with Sholmes? All the color is drained from his face. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, aren't you? It can be valuable evidence after all. Must be kept safely under lock and key. Ah, yes. Get your grubby hands off that, you lot, and hand it over now. Sholmes, you have some explaining to do, baby. I've never seen a collar that large before, and all those jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable, but that's not what stood out the most to me. At least not once I noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar, those stains, could they really have been blood?
Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now.
You look very pleased, Iris.
I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. But this case will be perfect. It's been so fascinating.
You talking about the latest installment of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I presume?
The mystery of the knife in the mist and the mustached man in the convict's curse, perhaps. I could make it a two-part story. Oh, I can't wait.
Word, please, Iris.
Yes, what is it, Hurley?
I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question.
What? Why not? It's a great case.
Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your two titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear?
Yes.
bullied her, asshole.
And so it was that the second of Soseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity. Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again, with an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
End. That's behind me. It says end behind me, guys. Just so you, anyone who's watching. The completion of episode 2, the Great Attorney Resolve. That was only episode 2? How many episodes are in this? Oh my god. I'm not gonna get any answers anytime soon. 1, 2. I'm not getting answers anytime soon, baby! You have so many to go through. I want to know the answer now!
I mean, if you use some critical thinking, you might be able to get some answers. Not all of them, but some answers.
The only B we have is the, we had the Baskerville Hound, the Hounds of the Baskerville, which we're not allowed to do that. I don't know what the Baskervilles is, though. That's the problem. Like, I know that Holmes is hiding the Baskervilles. We have a big B buckle here. That's a giant collar. What hound is it? Like, this has to do with the Hounds of the Baskerville. 100%, that collar has to do with the Baskervilles. I don't know what the Baskervilles are, though. I've never read the original.
Again, these...
They're loosely based off, I know.
They're loosely based.
But it has something to do with the Hounds
For
of the
example,
Baskerville.
the speckled band really was a snake, if I'm not mistaken, in the original, to show you how far... And also, I'm pretty sure it took place on a train, not a boat.
Yeah.
But, like, show you, like, how far off the grid it goes.
What is a boat
Like,
but a train on the sea?
I've read The Hound of the Baskervilles, and I will say that knowing it will not help you solve anything.
But this has to
Except
do with the
knowing that-
Baskervilles.
Except being like, a dog collar, you say?
Yeah. No, this is a collar. It has to do with the Baskervilles. There's a bee on it. And there's blood, so something or someone's been killed in it. It's a dog big enough to have... And here's the problem. One of Katie's D&D games was based off the Hounds of Baskerville.
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
In which the dog was made bigger and glowier by magic. And I'm like,
I'll
is this
say
just
that my game was 100% closer to the actual story of the Hound of the Baskerville
than this is?
than this is.
So, like, I'm wondering, like, is there just some giant fucking dog in the actual things? Like, I remember I heard Katie talking about it with someone before, but, like, I'm wondering if, like, there's actually like a giant dog they just fucking killed. And I don't know why that has to do anything with Susato right now. But, we don't have our license to do lawyer stuff anymore, so I'm wondering how we're gonna do lawyer stuff in this one. What if it belonged to a person? Yeah, what if it was a furry? What if the Baskervilles were furries and they just had like these collars on the entire time? No, here's the thing.
That went in a more pleasant way that I was going to suggest.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Iris could wear the thing as a belt, she said. Now I don't know how
she's a 10-year-old.
But I don't think a 10-year-old's waist is the size of my neck. You see where I'm getting at this? Like, this is bigger than just someone's neck. How big is a 10-year-old's waist?
Depends.
I don't think it's as big as my... I think it's bigger than my neck. How do you know her waist? No, we're not making that joke. All I'm saying...
I mean, like...
A human being is probably, like, wider than my neck. My neck is, like, small. I mean, I guess it's not small. How small is my neck?
Your neck, but, like... Think, like... I don't know. How thick is, like...
A dog's neck?
Just like, for example, like a bigger dog, like a Rottweiler or something.
Sure. Let's look up, Rottweiler... neck size. All right.
Like Diane.
So Rottweilers, 24 to 30 inches. All right. Human waist size at 10. 10 years old. Fuck.
25.5.
24 to 25.5. Fuck.
See? It's not that crazy.
God damn it. So a Rottweiler's collar can actually be potentially.
At least at first glance, right? Like
At first glance, yeah. Holy shit. Really? Okay. So were the hounds of the Baskerville a what? Wow, okay. Like okay. So okay, you know what? I was fucking wrong. A 10-year-old so anywhere between the ages of 8 to 12, right?
hypothetically.
For the boys' pants chart size that I'm seeing here on Google, it's 24 to 29 inches. For kids' pants, let's see here.
So as long as it's a big dog, then it's not like too crazy.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when you see kids, you're like, "Holy cow, you're tiny! You are tiny." Like maybe 10 is like
For girls, you're
a
gonna
bit
have
bigger
up
than
to
what I have in my mind. But
yeah. For girls, it's up to age 13 that they start hitting that 30-inch. 30-inch. On average, remember, 30-inch thing that the Rottweilers hit. So like, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'm wrong. Fucking apparently a Rottweiler's neck is gonna be as circumferencey as a child's body for a period of their time up to the age of about 12. Potentially. Not guaranteed, potentially. Oh shit, alright, that's fucking something, alright.
yeah, like some dogs just have also like really thick necks. Like some dogs, like their necks are like bigger than their head, basically.
That's true. That's true. Alright,
So like
guys.
it's a number of things compounding.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, guys. Well, I need more answers, and I need to find out what happened with the Baskervilles. Because Katie's not gonna tell me. She's gonna be like, "Well, Seth, you have to play the game." And I'm gonna be like, "Fuck." And if I do spoil myself, she's gonna be really pissed at me too. So now I have to play the game, guys. Anyways, we're gonna rate our friend Mochi, who was playing Splatoon 3, and everyone on YouTube. Hey, thanks for watching. Y'all stay safe, stay Botanist Cool, and I'll see you soon. Bye, YouTube.
Bye.